Hello everyone and welcome back to Sailing White Hawk. Early in 2023 we decided to live aboard White Hawk full time. We sold our unit in Cairns and moved aboard on the 2nd of May. We stayed at the Blue Water Marina in Cairns, completing projects, doing day trips and waiting for a weather window to take us south. We decided to head south out of the cyclone zone for the summer. We needed to stop at Townsville for some boat work, but other than that we had no fixed plans. Our good friends Mario and Sue joined us for a few wonderful days before we left, and then, when the weather turned, we headed to Townsville in August. This is our trip to Townsville. Our first overnight stop was Russell Island. Russell Island was so beautiful. We met a lovely couple there and had sundowners on the beach that night. Got a little rough in the morning, just towards morning when the tide changed, but overall it was a really lovely break from our first day of sailing. The next day on to Dunk Island, we saw whales. It was so exciting to see them. They were a long way off, but hey, they were there. We tried our hand at trolling, but nothing this time, but later on we get lucky. We arrived at stunning Dunk Island. This place is so spectacularly beautiful. Unfortunately, the resort's no longer there, having been wiped out by a cyclone. But my goodness, it was such a beautiful place to stay and we had the most perfect weather. Hinchinbrook's the big island down there, and Port Hinchinbrook got wiped out in the cyclone, Cardwell, but if people remember those horrible images of all the boats being smashed up in Cardwell Marina. So it doesn't really exist anymore. Well, Cardwell does, but the marina and the area around it is very sad to see. Still people living there, but it's not a patch on what it was. But it holds good memories for us because of Mum and Dad being there, and it's really nice to be back. So many years ago, in 2006, Trev, myself, Mum and Dad came up to these islands, so Hudson Island on the left and Smith Island on the right. And we sat in the middle channel there. It wasn't the greatest day. It was a bit stormy and dark because the cyclones had just gone through and it was still recovering from the weather was still recovering, but very nice little memory because we were all there together. following morning I woke up and I saw something really weird in the water, and I wasn't really sure what it was, but then we quickly realised that we were in the presence of a humpback whale mother and her calf. So we sat on the back step with our coffees and just watched her and her calf just roll about in the bay for a while. It was really lovely. And then a bigger guy later on took off out of the water and made an incredible noise, but it was really spectacular, and we felt so privileged to have seen it. About 10 o'clock the next morning, the wind blew up to about 25 to 35 knots in the bay. It was amazing. It just really came out of nowhere. Beautiful day, but there were boats in trouble and anchors dragging, and it was a very interesting hour or so. One person enjoyed it though, taking the opportunity to do some windy weather sailing. He thoroughly enjoyed it and scooted around the bay while it was all happening. I guess it's an opportunity to hone your skills relatively safely. An hour later, it looked like this. So there we go, that was our first major trip from Cairns to Townsville. The winds were mostly southeast or non-existent, so we motored a lot of the way and averaged about 5 knots for those of you who are interested in that sort of thing. Our next step was from Magnetic Island into Townsville, where we lifted Whitehawk and got her bottom cleaned and had a few repairs done. After that we set sail down to the Whitsundays, which you'll see in the next episode. Hope to see you soon. Bye now.